Well,
heavily.
this ties in perfectly because, we were talking about, Star Wars and you now becoming a creator.
Yes.
And before the show, we were also mentioning our love for D&D. And it's very, very similar how you can create these worlds and these characters in D&D. And I mean, how long have you been playing D&D?
So I started playing this year. As soon as I started writing, I was like, I need a way to practice the skills, because I'm not going to be writing every day. I'm too busy. But D&D opened me as in a creative mindset, and really pushed me as an actor to be more in character and more.
It's brilliant as a creative.
Yes,
space.
and it was this insane thing. If I was working on a script, I would add a plot of the script into my D&D game, and just to see how the audience reacted, how my players reacted, and depending on what they connected to, what they didn't connect to, what they just completely ignored, and I was like, interesting. So then it would have influenced my writing. I started playing about a year ago. I play and now I'm in 3 campaigns.
You live Twitch some of them, don't you?
I did. Now I'm doing shows. I don't even know how this all happened, but I play a paladin is my main guy, but I've fallen from grace because I have made a deal with the devil.
Oh.
To be fair,
that devil.
Oathbreaker.
Well, I mean, right now I am just
devil.
a paladin with no powers. So it is the worst. I am hating it, but I love it. It's one of those things that
For role playing, it sounds amazing.
for role playing, yes. I have this I found this demonic weapon, and the weapon had a creature living inside of it, and that creature ended up taking me over, and
Are you playing a possessed character then right now, or is you fighting for control?
I have repressed the control, so
Okay.
I am myself and trying to make my own decisions. But now the thing is my character's really I'm super good, but do I make more? Do I take the steps and do I try to unlock this power? Because it is an epic power that could destroy my enemies, but it may also destroy me and everyone that I love if I'm not careful. So it's interesting. But no, as far as D&D is concerned, I've been playing that campaign for a year. And I started playing new characters, and the new characters are just not the same because Leovold, which is my other character, my paladin, has so much life to him over a year. You discover who he is, you discover his flaws, you discover what he wants and who he is. And I play this new character, and I'm like, oh, this is super fun. But at the end of the day, it's just a shallow, I'm just a ranger that is really good at tracking. I don't feel like I has the soul that original character has. I am actually very fortunate. I have TJ Storm, who is the actor for Godzilla and Colossus and this really big actors all are in this one group in this home campaign of mine, and I feel like I was just very spoiled with the level of role playing. And now I DM too because it just as a creating space, it is the best thing to do.
Wow.
But how long have you been playing?
So today will actually be my first time ever playing D&D.
Oh my.
Oh, good.
So
Hold on. I just want to,
man.
when we
Get
come
ready.
back to this, I want you to bring this back up and, about a year from now and just say, what happened and how much do you play D&D now? Because I bet you don't stop.
I'm gonna be serious. This D&D stuff sounds very deep and has very strong social implications. Because this is some deep shit you're going over right here. I don't even play it, and I'm getting emotionally affected over
No,
here.
you have no idea because it doesn't feel like that when you're playing it. It doesn't feel like that, but over time, you start to realize you have patterns with this stinking character that you've made, and you start to feel for this person that doesn't even exist, your other characters, and then you start losing people. People start to die around you, and they die on their own accord. They make their own mistakes. You see when they're gonna mess up, and you're like, why are you doing this? Don't go into that dark room that is covered in bones, and you can't see anything, so you're just feeling for walls. And when that person's like, I look for another wall at the other side of the room, they're like, if you go any deeper, you hear a growl, and she's like, I keep going, and you're like, but then that person dies, and then how does that affect the rest of the party? This was maybe this was the smallest character, a halfling, was 2 feet tall and was basically a kid. What does that? How does that emotionally take account into the characters in your role playing before? So now maybe you're more careful about this. Do you want that Penelope thing to happen again? Or maybe do you want this? So it gets really emotional and really deep and really fun and satisfying, and, and that's why you're seeing such a resurgence of D&D in the community.
Yes, we are.
Just because
it's
Twitch,
going through a renaissance right
yes,
now.
exactly. And Twitch, it's one of Twitch's biggest games to watch. Critical Role success. They get like 13.
With Matt Mercer and all that gang.
Matt Mercer was the one that got me into D&D.
That's pretty awesome. Matt Mercer is an amazing voice actor and ubiquitous in the industry. He does everything.
Yeah, absolutely. I did a game called Scalebound that unfortunately got canceled with Xbox One. But
I remember when it was. I'm on IGN every day. So.
Yeah, I was the main guy on that game.
Okay. Oh wow.
The player character, yeah.
Oh wow.
And Matt and TJ both played my dragon at different times.
They were playing that up a lot, I think, because at the time with Skyrim, and they really wanted to make a game where it was like a player-dragon relationship, but it just didn't get off the ground.
Yeah. Everybody that I've spoken to, whether or not they know that I'm on the project or not, was very bummed when that got canceled because it was the only game like that game.
No, yeah, and there still hasn't quite been one like it.
No, there probably won't be for a while.
Yeah.
Like Monster Hunter, I think, is the closest thing, but like Monster Hunter wasn't even at all what our game was. So it's just like, it's frustrating. But anyway, aside from that, Matt was on that, and I remember I walked in and Matt was super excited about something, and he was freaking out, and I was like, what's going on? And he's like, dude, I've got this new show called Critical Role, and we just got our promotional, like our intro video. And they did this like live action, like almost like role play, like live action, like with all their characters in armor and stuff. And it was really cool, but he was really, really excited about it. This was when the show had just started.
Yeah.
And he couldn't be there for some of the days of recording because he was like, I'm doing this Critical Role show. I just started. I'm in like week 3. And he's like, I can't miss it. And so we were like, okay, well, that's when they brought in TJ. And he was like, dude, you should play D&D if you haven't played it. And he's like, maybe we'll get you on the show. I should have taken him up.
You should have taken him
up
on that.
I didn't even think about it until...
That's millions of views. A lot of my friends, my buddy Nick, who not only got me into Bravest Warriors, but also got me into D&D, and he's the reason I know Devin. So of all the connections.
Shout out Nick. What's up, Nick? Buddy, we miss you.
Yeah.
We love you.
Yeah, hey Nick. He watches that show every single week. They're so good on it. They're very entertaining to watch.
Yeah. And so like that was that was my first like foray into like even seeing what D&D looked like. And I was like, this looks like fun. Now I have like every single book, like all the dice in the world. I'm getting dice in the mail now. I didn't order those dice. I don't know where they're coming from, but it's super fun. Anyway, I love that. I'm glad you're starting to DM now. Is this what's going on?
It's my first time DMing. I've played a lot, like over the years, like ever since I was a kid. I've probably played in like 5 or 6 campaigns, but I've never DM'd before. So I'm DMing today for the first time, and with 3 players who have never played the game before.
So it'll be
So it's a noob session.
That's 100%. Gonna be fun. That's definitely gonna be super fun though.
Yeah.
My campaign is I mixed StarCraft, the game StarCraft.
Oh yeah, of course.
And put it in a fantasy setting. And so I put my characters as like these characters trying to stop a like Zerg uprising because they live underneath the ground. It's kind of like cool. I basically took every favorite game of mine, like their plots, and I just jammed them all together, like Mass Effect's in there. Gears
I'm just
of War
pulling from everything. My world is one big derivation of everything I've ever loved.
Yes, I have xenomorphs in mine. I have like they haven't stumbled upon. They're in the place where they're going to find the temple that is like the sacrificial chamber where the eggs are currently in waiting.
That'll be terrifying. Well, and that's the thing about D&D, and when you read the manuals, you can see this, but you can construct so many different kinds of story and evoke different emotions from your players.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've played campaigns where I was legitimately like kind of freaked out about what the fuck was going on. Like, we were getting attacked by this spectral thing that we couldn't fucking see, and like people were just dying left and right. And it's funny because you think it's so silly that you might have a sense of dread while you're playing this tabletop game, but I legitimately felt that.
Because after playing your character for a year, let's just say it's a year that you've been playing this one guy, and you come across something that's invisible, and it's like literally sucking the soul out of people, and they're literally drying up your party members. Like, if it sucks any harder, like, your character is going to be dead. Carl's over here laughing in the corner. he's like, don't say anything.
I think us as like creative individuals and storytellers really do get that, and actors too. Become emotionally attached. Like, I could tell. I had a phone conversation with Dom a couple nights ago for an hour about the history and backstory of my character and developing it, because I've never, created this character, and like, I really love like there are things about the character that I created that are representative of me. There's elements, a big part, for example, I'm blind in one eye. My character is blind in his right eye. Got a war scar.
So in when you first make your game, your first character generally is you. like that you make. You because it's the easiest.
I find that's true.
You find that like your first character, it's easier to understand how to play the game if you can relate to your character 100%. So you generally will make this like version of yourself, which is really cool. Leovold was my first character, this paladin, and I'm realizing that I find myself to be really doofy, and I think that's very true.
And it's funny because that's often how it works for acting too. To give a good performance, I think first you start with playing shades of yourself, and then you can move on to things that are further away from
Exactly.
who you are.
Exactly. I think that's a great idea. But no, I'm excited to see this character that you've created with a scar over his eye.
He's a pirate orc. Yeah, dude.
Are you an evil character?
I kind of. I'm a thief.
Okay.
So I'm on the edge. Like, what
Is he just a rogue?
Yeah, I'm a rogue.
What's
You're
with
an
the
orcish rogue?
What's
Oh,
with
man.
the orc thing? Because Will Smith has a TV show with the orcs, and you're doing the orcs thing, and then there's orcs in like those other movies. How is orcs transferring to all these levels of human society?
What Will Smith TV show with the orcs?
Hey, Will Smith's got some new TV show.
it's a
Then I was a
movie.
cop, and the
It's a
cop,
movie.
the other
It's a
cop's
movie.
an orc.
It's a movie.
It's a
Whatever
movie.
the kids are doing and calling it in the street, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh my
orcs,
goodness!
tell me
It's
about
like,
it.
Bright. It's called Bright, right?
It's a Netflix movie.
No, what movie is this about Will Smith and an orc?
It's
being
like
cops?
Training Day,
What?
but with like fantasy characters in a in a futuristic society, where like his like
haven't I heard
partner is
about
like
this?
an orc
What?
or a goblin
Like,
or something,
yeah.
and like
And
they're-
Will Smith is starring, or
Yeah.
yeah.
He's like the cop, and like his partner is like an orc, but the orc's supposed to be like minorities or whatnot,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
forth. So they have like jewelry on. They're like thugs and shit. It's
Well,
crazy.
so
Oh my
well,
God.
so in D&D, that's really what it looks like. Like outside of like, it's not a futuristic setting, but that is kind of what it is. Like elves are generally a minority, or like, you know, like, and so like
Yeah.
they're treated differently. And so like if you pick a character that is like an orc, you are definitely gonna be discriminated.
No,
against,
100%.
for
Or
sure.
people are gonna look at you crossways.
Yeah, like people
or-
are not gonna trust you, especially with your scar over your eye. You're just gonna look like you know.
I'm a smuggler pirate that just
He's chaotic neutral. He's
Yeah.
in the.
Oh, man.
He's in the gray zone.
Don't be chaotic stupid. Let me warn you right now.
Well,
the DM will kill you.
This is one of the things I was going to ask you. Is like somebody who's playing for the first time, and for people out there listening, if you do get into D&D, what is your advice for first timers?
Have fun. Just have fun with it. Have an open mind. Like play with a group of friends that are like that you have fun with. Because it's D&D is not about like even the DM being really good or being about like, you know, the
it's
story
not
being
a-
really good.
yeah.
It's about the people that you're around being really fun. to
Yeah,
be around.
building, and it's like how Carl said it is this social space. It's something else, like getting together and watching a football game,
Yeah.
which it's something else for you to do with your buddies, and it's not just about coming together to play the game. It's coming together to just hang out and do everything and connect.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and if you're gonna get into the game, you want your own dice. Get your own dice. Like, and dice
Yeah.
cost like less than $10, and it's like one of the most fun parts of the game is like finding your set of dice.
I just got a wonderful Christmas
No,
present
I
today
gifted
Sounds like a
him.
pog.
from Dominic.
I gifted him to my
A pog, a
players.
smasher.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool of you. Yeah, I just got they just came out with a new book called Xanathar's Guide to Everything. Have you got
I've
this
heard
book?
about it. I haven't gotten it
All right,
yet.
yeah,
no.
yeah. If you guys are playing later today, I'll bring like all the books. I have like all of them. I you know, when I dive into something, I dive in head first. And
Me
yeah.
too. I think this
No,
is
I was-
it's gonna consume my fucking
John,
life.
I was the same way because I played a session last year with last spring with a group of friends, and I hadn't played in like 6 years, and it reignited my love, and I was like, I want to DM finally, and different people in our group started like guest DMing and stuff like that, but I had to wait. I literally like almost like how George Lucas had to, and I'm not comparing myself to George Lucas.
Like, so basically, I'm about
Basically,
to.
I'm George Lucas, and no, but just how it's funny with world creation, how he had to have those first 3 episodes in his mind before he did A New Hope. I had to make this whole world and map and economy and system and this moving gears before I could have them do one little adventure in one little small town where the rest of the shit going on in the world doesn't even matter to them right now.
Yeah.
But it's funny how it's a deep dive.
What level
Can
are they
be.
starting out at?
3 because I want them to have I don't want
Fun.
them I
Yeah.
want them to have fun right away, so not level 1.
Copy that. Yeah, no, that's yeah. Get ready, because Dungeons and Dragons is one of the best games ever made. It will ruin other games for you. I will say this right away, because no other game will give you the amount of you can do whatever you want. Like, you always have to follow the rules of the game. Like, A is to jump. Well, maybe I don't want to jump. Maybe I want to dig.